Hello students, my name is Tehsin Sheikh. Welcome again at Nagesh Karasgi Orchid channel. This is our third session of Geography, lesson number 2, Physical Feature of India. So students, in the first session, we have learned about the plate movements which are responsible for the forming different type of relief feature on the earth surface. So we have discussed about the divergent plate, convergent plate and transform plate. Next one, in the second session we have discussed about the Indian physical feature. When we observe the Indian map, in the northern part of India is covered by Himalayan mountain area. Himalaya loftiest and largest mountain range in the world. Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, K2, these all loftiest peaks are located on the Himalayan area. Himalaya is the source of many rivers. These rivers, they are coming downside and they formed northern plain area. In the second session, we have seen the northern plain of India. In the northern plain, this northern plain is covered 7 lakh square kilometer area of our North India. River Indus and its tributaries, they formed Punjab plain on the western part. River Ganga and its tributaries, they formed center part of India, and river Brahmaputra and its tributaries, they formed eastern part of India. So this Ganga river, Brahmaputra river and Indus river, these three rivers are very important river in the northern plain. And when we observe the northern plain area is formed by alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is fertile soil, good agricultural production. We grow many crops in that alluvial soil area and they are easily available fresh water through these three rivers. So that's why it is called granaries of our India. So next one important thing we have also learned in our lecture number 2, that is Indian desert area. Indian desert is located on the western part of Aravalli hill. Indian desert, it is totally different climatic condition, low rainfall near about 150 millimeter in the year. Second important thing, high temperature at the time of summer season in that western part of India, in the Rajasthan area, temperature recorded near about 50 degree, 52 degree Celsius temperature. This part is located near the Pakistan area, and the elephant is very camel is very common animal which people are using for transportation. Next important thing, sand dunes or barkhans, these are the common relief or the common physical features they are found in the Indian desert area. And we have also seen in the Indian desert no rivers are flowing there throughout the year, but only Luni river is there which are flowing in the perennial river in the Indian desert area. So students, now today's session we are going to study about the Peninsular Plateau. So Peninsular Plateau is the oldest landmass. It is broken down from Gondwana land, and this Peninsular Plateau made from igneous and metamorphic rock. So in the last session just we have I have introduced this Peninsular Plateau to you. Peninsular Plateau formed due to volcanic eruption. At the time of volcanic eruption, when all material comes outside, that lava, ash, magma, some gases, other material, and after comes outside, due to cooling and solidification is converting into igneous rock. So these igneous rocks are very common feature on the Peninsular Plateau on our India. And when we observe here in the map, in this map, see here, majority of the Indian area is covered by, majority of India's southern part is covered by Peninsular Plateau. So see here, Aravalli mountain here on the northern part, and eastern side of Aravalli mountain, here it is called triangular shape area called Peninsular Plateau. See the boundaries, Western Ghat here on the western part, Eastern Ghat here on the eastern Ghat, and Aravalli mountain on the northwestern side. So these are the boundaries of this Peninsular Plateau. It is triangular shape, and when we discussed about the Peninsular Plateau, see here, this plateau ranges in an elevation from 100 meter in the northern side and 1000 meter to the south side. So when we discuss about the plain area, just Himalayan mountains like mountains are not found here on the southern part, but elevation or height is different from north to south. When we observe the northern part, 100-meter height is there, and in the southern part 1000-meter height to the south side of peninsular plateau. This plateau consists of two broad divisions, namely the central highland and the Deccan plateau. So students, when we observe this map, see here, this plateau is classified, or this plateau is broadly divided into two zones, two sections. This northern part is called central highland and the southern part is called Deccan plateau. Narmada river separated these two portions. Narmada river's northern part central highland and Narmada river's southern part Deccan plateau. So students, let's see central highland and Deccan plateau in detail. The Vindhya range is bounded by the Satpura range on the south and the Aravalli on the northwest. The further westward extension gradually merge with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. So when we observe here, see some small peaks are here, Vindhya Parvat, see Satpura Parvat, Aravalli mountain range, Chota Nagpur plateau. These are the very common features are found on the central highland area. And when we observe our Deccan plateau, eastern Ghat, western Ghat, it's very common. And on the Deccan plateau, our Maharashtra, Karnataka, some part of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, these four states are located on the southern part, and on the northern part Madhya Pradesh, here Gujarat, Rajasthan, some part of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, these states are located on the northern part of central highland and Deccan plateau. See students, the peninsular plateau the broadly divided into two zones. First है the central highland, just we have seen here upper portion central highland and second portion Deccan plateau. So see here also the northern part central highland, there four highlands are there, Malwa plateau, Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand and Chota Nagpur. This central highlands made from these four section. पहले जो पार्ट आएगा वो मालवा प्लाटू का आएगा, नेक्स्ट वन बुंदेलखंड, देन बाघेलखंड एंड छोटा नागपुर. These are the four common plateaus on the central highland. And when we come to the southern part, on the Deccan plateau, Deccan Trough, Western Ghat, Eastern Ghat and Northeastern plateau extensions are found on the Deccan plateau area. So students, this peninsular plateau, it is also called tableland. It is composed by old rocks because it is formed due to the drifted part of Gondwana land. We have learned the plate tectonic theory. Two plates they come closer, and when two plates they come, they moving in the different direction. These plate movements are responsible for formation of this peninsular plateau, and the Gondwana land is drifted, and this broad and shallow valleys, rounded hills are the main characteristic feature of this plateau. See here some uplifted area or the some mountains hilly area found in the peninsular region. See students, the plateau is divided into two regions, that is central highland and Deccan plateau, just we have seen on the map. The central highland lies to the north of the Narmada river. It covered major portion of the Malwa plateau. The river in this region flow from southwest to northeast direction. See students, these rivers some rivers are there, and these rivers are flowing in the southwest to northeast direction, which indicate the slope of this region, means the slope of this region in the northeastern part, and these rivers they are mixed in the Ganga river. So when we observe that Chambal, Betwa, Son river, they are flowing in the northeast direction and they mixed with the Ganga river. So the slope of the this central highland toward the northeastern part. It is wider in the west and narrower in the east. Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand mark the eastward extension of this plateau. The plateau further extend eastward into the Chota Nagpur plateau area. So when we observe this map, see here again, this is the Bundelkhand, Baghelkhand area. Here it's wide and here it's a narrow, and it's extend further up through the near about Chota Nagpur area, also covered by this central highland area. See students, now next one we are going to study southern part of peninsular plateau, the Deccan plateau. The Deccan Plateau lies to the south of Narmada river. It is triangular in shape. The Satpura range makes its northern part. The Mahadev, Kaibur hills, Michael range make its eastern part. The slope of the Deccan Plateau is from west to east direction. It extends into the northeast, which encompasses Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Chachar Hills. Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills are the prominent ranges starting from the west to east. So students, see again here on the map, when we discuss about the Deccan Plateau, Narmada river southern part means here Narmada river is flowing. The origin of Narmada river we have seen in the lesson number 3, drainage. Narmada river is originated in the Amarkantak area in the Madhya Pradesh, and the southern part of Narmada river, it is called Deccan Plateau. See here, Eastern Ghat, Western Ghat, and this triangular shape area is called Deccan Plateau. Again is further extend here Garo, Khasi, Jaintia Hills. These are also a part of Deccan Plateau area or in the peninsular plateau, and the slope of this Deccan Plateau is from west to east direction. This part also we have discussed in the lesson number 3, drainage. All rivers, they are originated here on the Western Ghat, but they are flowing in this direction, means rivers origin यहाँ पे हो रहे हैं. Arabian Sea is very near, very close to rivers, but these rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, the rivers due to slope, they are flowing in the eastern direction and they are mixed in the Bay of Bengal. So obviously the slope is in the eastern direction. So students, this central highland and the Deccan Plateau is the two zone of peninsular plateau. Now through the map we will discuss about the more about this peninsular plateau. See students, when we observe here the boundary of central highland and Deccan Plateau, this first one Aravalli range is spread on the south to north direction. See here Aravalli range, and the Aravalli range is western part, Deccan, Indian desert, and Aravalli ranges eastern part, it is called central highland. Second one Vindhya mountain range. See here on the central highland Vindhya mountain range is there. Satpura range here on the third part, this third line is parallel to the Vindhya range, it is called Satpura range. Fourth one Mahadev hills are there, this fourth one again parallel, some Mahadev hills, small hills are there, and fifth one it is called Michael range. So these are the part of central highland. And when we come to the south, direction, Narmada river southern part, Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat, these are the boundary of peninsular plateau, and some part is extend here in the Assam and Arunachal Pradesh area. Some small hills are there, Garo hills, Jaintia hills, these hills are also part of peninsular plateau. So see students, we will discuss more about the Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Okay, see here Eastern Ghat here near the western coastal area, and Eastern Ghat is here near the eastern coastal plain area. See Godavari river is flowing here. Here second one Krishna river flowing in this direction, and Kaveri river also flowing here in the eastern direction. So students, clear the location of Western Ghat here near the western coastal plain area, and Eastern Ghats location near the eastern coastal plain area, and these two are the boundary of peninsular plateau. Means peninsular plateau is located triangular shape spread in between these all mountains, they are surrounding area, and in between these mountains this peninsular plateau spread. See students, the difference between Western Ghat and Eastern Ghat. The Western Ghats are situated and marked on the western edge of Deccan Plateau, parallel to the western coast of India along the Arabian Sea. So just we have learned the area, location of Western Ghat near the western coastal plain and the Arabian Sea area, and is totally parallel to the western coastal plain. And when we discuss about the location of Eastern Ghat, it is located on the eastern side, again it's parallel to the eastern coastal plain near the Bay of Bengal. When we comes to the second point of Western Ghat, see here it is continuous, can be crossed through the passes only. See, when we observe here again, it is continuous range and all passes are here, Thal Ghat, Bhor Ghat, these ghats are located here on the Western Ghat. See, and Eastern Ghat is discontinuous, means Western Ghat is continuous there, but in the eastern part discontinuous there, irregular and dissected by river draining into the Bay of Bengal. Yes students. So when we observe this western part is continuous part, it is some ghats are located on the western side, but when we observe this eastern ghat, it is discontinuous. It's a, and due to that is discontinuous, rivers they are flowing in this direction. See here, Godavari river, Krishna, Kaveri, and these rivers they deposited their sediment here near the eastern ghat area. That's why here we found deltas, okay, river deltas they found here in the eastern ghat of India. See students, third difference between western ghat and eastern ghat. The western ghat are higher than the eastern ghat. Average elevation is 900 meter to 1600 meter, means when we compare to the altitude wise, height is more in the western part, 900 meter to 1600 meter, and the eastern ghat, see here, height is not more, elevation is not more, only 600 meter highest peaks are found on the eastern ghat, means height is more on the western side, height less here on the eastern side. Fourth one, the height increase progressively from north to south. The highest peak include the Anaimudi and the Doda Betta. See here on the western ghat, height increase when we goes to the southern side from north to south, heights start to increase, and in the southern part Anaimudi and Doda Betta, these two hill stations are there, these two peaks are there, their height is near about 1600 meter. So when we comes to the eastern ghat, see the highest peaks are there include the Mahendragiri and the Jaudi hills. So on the eastern part Mahendragiri is there, and the Mahendragiri is the one of the highest elevated part which are located on the here eastern ghat area, and the height of that Mahendragiri is near about 1500 meter, and it's the highest peak on eastern ghat, and the highest peak of western ghat is Anaimudi, height is 2695 meter, and Doda Betta is also there, height of Doda Betta is 2637 meter. So students clear, elevation is more on the western part. See the next difference. The western ghat enclose a narrow strip between its western slope and the Arabian Sea, which is known as the western coastal plain. Its maximum width is near about 64 km. The eastern ghat also enclose a strip of land between its eastern slope and Bay of Bengal, which is known as the eastern coastal plain. It is wider than the western coastal strip with its maximum breadth 120 km. So students, when we observe here, see near the eastern part, this is the width is more, shallow width is here. In between this western ghat, in between this eastern ghat and Bay of Bengal, this is the eastern coastal plain area. It is the shallow area, and when we observe here near the western ghat and Arabian Sea, western coastal plain area is here, and it's very narrow, means here this one is narrow and here this one is very shallow area. See the next difference. It experiences orographic rain mostly in the summer due to the summer monsoon. The climate is hot and moist, and in the eastern ghat it receives rain both in summer and winter, especially in winter season through the winter monsoon. However, here the rain is lesser than the western strip. See on the western map, Arabian Sea is there, and the winds monsoon they entered in India through the Kerala area, and due to that reason heavy rainfall occurred on the western ghat area, and the eastern part area rainfall occurred in the both season, summer and winter, but compared to western part, eastern part received less rain. Next difference between western ghat and eastern ghat. Here the soil is highly fertile, rice, spices, rubber, fruits like coconut, cashew nuts are grown here. When we observe here in the western ghat area, soil is fertile, and due to that region agriculture is developed in the western ghat area. Farmers they are grow rice, cashew nut, coconuts in the agricultural area. And on the western part, soil is more fertile because our rivers are going in the eastern direction, and due to that reason here also agriculture highly developed. Rice, groundnut, cotton, tobacco, coconut are grown in the eastern Ghat. So students, clear? Just we have discussed about the peninsular plateau. It's very important landform of our India. It spread from the north to south direction near the Aravalli range, eastern part of Aravalli range, and in the southern side eastern Ghat and western Ghat. These are the boundary of this peninsular plateau. And peninsular plateau is divided into two sections. Northern part of Narmada river, it is called Central Highland, and southern part of Narmada river, it is called Deccan Plateau. And just we have seen the difference between western Ghat and eastern Ghat. So students, now next part we are going to study about the coastal plains. It is very interesting. Beaches are there, sea waves are there. So this very interesting and tourist attractive point means the coastal plain of India. Our India, India has near about 7,500 किलोमीटर कोस्टल एरिया. यहाँ से अगर आप देखोगे, it started from Gujarat to then next one Maharashtra, then Karnataka's coastal area, Kerala coastal area, in the southern part Tamil Nadu also covered the coastal area, then Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and West Bengal. These are the southern states, they are received the coastal boundary. So see the coastal plain in our India. See this dark boundary, this dark black color is indicate the coastal plains of India. Here गुजरात से जैसे आप नीचे आओगे महाराष्ट्र, here Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, here Andhra Pradesh, here Orissa and the West Bengal. From the West Bengal to Gujarat, 7,500 kilometer area is covered by coastal area of our India. See here, it is called from West Bengal to Kanyakumari, here it is called eastern coastal plain, and from Gujarat to Kanyakumari it is called western coastal plain. So let's see these two plains in detail. See first one, again the map. These plains are classified into three sections. Western plains are classified Konkan coast, Kannada coast and Malabar coast. Konkan means it's a part of our India's coastal area. Sindhudurg, Ratnagiri, Raigad, these are the cities or these are the regions located on the Konkan area. When we come to the south of Konkan, Kannada plain or Kannada coastal area is there. It's a part of Karnataka and some part of Goa. And when we come to the southern side, totally coastal area of Kerala, it is known as the Malabar coast. See students here, when we discuss about the western coastal plain, here Diu, Daman, then Mumbai, here Bangalore port, then Kochi, Panji port, these are the part of western coastal area. Konkan coast, here Kannada coast and the Malabar coast. And here this on the eastern coastal part, eastern coastal also divided into two sections. Northern part it is called Northern Sarkar and southern part it is called Coromandel coast. See Coromandel coast and Northern Sarkars. So students, this is the map, or see this image in the map, it is very clear. This is the this is the western coastal plain and here eastern coastal plain. See in detail, the coastal peninsular plateau flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal slip. They run along the Arabian Sea on the west and along the Bay of Bengal on the east. So when we observe, see here, this western coastal plain area parallel to the Arabian Sea and eastern coastal plain area parallel to the Bay of Bengal, means is totally sandwiched in between Eastern Ghat here and Bay of Bengal here. In between this Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal, narrow strip, it is called Eastern Coastal Plain, and in between Western Ghat and Arabian Sea, that narrow strip, it is called Western Coastal Plain. So it's totally sandwiches between these two physical feature. See, the western coastal lies between the Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea. It is divided into three sections. The Konkan from Mumbai to Goa makes the northern part, the Kannada plain which the central part, and the Malabar coast make the Malabar coast. See here, first one from Mumbai to Goa, Konkan coast in the southern part, here Goa to southern part near Karnataka, it is called Kannada coast, Kannada plain area, and the southern part it is called Malabar coast. Means this western coastal plain again divided into three sections, Kannada, Konkan and Malabar. And when we comes to here, see, the western coastal plain is wider and level and it runs along the Bay of Bengal. It is divided into two parts. The northern part is Northern Sarkar and the southern part is Coromandel coast. Extensive detail are formed by large river like Mahanadi, Godavari and Kaveri. Chilika Lake is the important feature along the eastern coast. See students, when we observe here on the eastern coastal plain area, this eastern coastal plain area again divided into two sections. Northern part of eastern coastal plain it is called Northern Sarkar and southern part of eastern coastal plain is called Coromandel. And on this area, these rivers who are originating, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, these rivers are originating here on the western Ghat, but they are flowing in the eastern direction, and due to that region this river they form delta on the western coastal eastern coastal part. And here one more physical feature is there, Chilika Lake. See here in the Odisha, Chilka Lake is the very important feature located on the eastern coastal area. So students, we have learned about the coastal plain area. Before that we have discussed about the peninsular plateau. Now next part we are going to study our last physical feature, that is the island group of India. So students, first before we start the island group of India, what is the meaning of island? See in the picture, land area, totally surrounded area is covered by water, means पानी के बीच ऐसा एरिया है जिसको चारों ऐसे फोर साइड से पानी ने कवर किया है, इट इज कॉल्ड आइलैंड. सो दिस टाइप ऑफ आइलैंड्स आर फॉर्म इन अवर इंडिया, वन in the Arabian Sea, Lakshadweep, and second one is found in the Bay of Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar. So see students, here the definition of island. Island is any piece of land or the continent that surrounded by water. See here first image, land and surrounded by water, island. Here land surrounded by water, it is called island. Now how these lands are formed in the ocean? So when we discussed about the plate movements, two plates they are going in the different direction, and in between this area due to volcanic eruption that lands are formed. It is very common feature in the Atlantic Ocean. Exactly center part of Atlantic Ocean is formed due to this plate divergence. So students, these islands are also very attractive point of tourist, means many tourists they visiting in the Andaman and Nicobar area and the Lakshadweep area in our India. So clear what is the meaning of island? Island means the land of land area or the continent area which is surrounded by water. See next one, Andaman and Nicobar. Our India has vast mainland. It is called first group of island Lakshadweep and second group of island the Andaman and Nicobar. Let's see in detail about the Lakshadweep island. Total 36 coral islands are there in the Lakshadweep. 10 are inhabited and 6 are open for the tourism. Near about 32 kilometer area is covered by this Lakshadweep island, and is formed by coral deposition. Coral insects are there, and after that coral insects they dead bodies or their dead bodies are deposited on that place, and due to that coral islands are formed. Atolls are the circular or horseshoe shaped coral reefs. See here the island here Lakshadweep island, and these are the three image of Lakshadweep island. And students, when we observe the Lakshadweep island, natural biodiversities of flora and fauna is mega diversities, or it is called different types of plants and animals are found in the Lakshadweep islands, and due to that region it is the attract place of tourism. Let's see detail about the Andaman and Nicobar. First one, Northern part is called Andaman and southern part is called Nicobar. It is located in the Bay of Bengal. See, the biodiversity, flora and fauna in this group of island, when we discuss about the biodiversities, mega biodiversity is found in the Andaman and Nicobar because it is located near the equatorial. This island is close to the equator, and that's why equatorial climatic condition, all thick forests are here. When we observe the equatorial area, high temperature, heavy rainfall, and due to that region thick forests are grown on the equator, and this Andaman and Nicobar, they located near the equatorial space, and that's why thick forests are found in the Andaman and Nicobar area. With that, biodiversities, different plants and animals are also found in the Andaman and Nicobar. And students, one more important feature, barren island is the active volcano in our whole India. One active volcano is found in the Andaman and Nicobar area, and name of that island is Barren Island. Active volcano means what? Continuously material or all volcanic eruptions erupted, it is called active volcano, and this Barren Island is famous for the active volcano. It is located in the Andaman and Nicobar. So students, just we have completed our lesson number 2. We have learned about the physical features of India, from northern part Himalaya, then northern plain, desert area, peninsular plateau, coastal plains and the islands. In the next session we will discuss about our next topic or next chapter. As a homework, you have to write short notes on the Indian desert, explain differences between eastern coastal plain and western coastal plain, and explain in detail peninsular plateau of India. Thank you.